This is a new setup to the room. Not much has changed aside from like the way the bed was originally facing. I don't know if I've showed the room before, but if I haven't, welcome to my room. So the frame was originally on this wall over here by the window, and it would cover like a portion like this much of the window. So I wanted to change it because me and Eric spoke about it before he left, and I was like, okay, let me try it out because I was thinking about it last night. We are gonna take this cage down and kind of just put his bed there or like put it somewhere else. Obviously, as you can see, it's now our TV stand, but this TV is gonna get hung on this wall, which is where his PC is set up, and then that PC is getting moved, I think, where this TV is at now. Like, it's gonna be changed. It's just the small changes that have to be done. We have to wait to do because obviously, like, you know, the whole setup is in progress. But I do like the way this bed looks now. At first I was like, rethinking it and like thinking my whole life away because I follow feng shui when it comes to like the setups of my rooms. But this works out because my head is facing south, which is the optimal sleep and the best for the energy and the chi and all that. So that's good. The only reason I was concerned about this setup is because I thought it would be in direct line with the door, which this corner kind of is, but it shouldn't be like the whole front of the bed is in front of the door. That's kind of called like the deathbed entrance because, you know, when you're getting rolled out of, you know, a hospital or something, you go feet first. So you're gonna see the changes I do to the room. We do have a sign that we want to get. I'm not gonna say what it is just yet, but there is a sign we want to get for where Eric puts his PC. I'm probably gonna upgrade a little bit on how I edit, not like in terms of how I edit, like the program, but like what I'm using, because currently I use my laptop, so I want to like upgrade that a little, but that's a possibility. I'm fine with using my laptop, we'll see, and I don't think it'll be soon anyway, but yeah. So I have to babysit my sister's dog and cat, Remy. You've seen him before, and you've seen this background before. Last time I was in Vegas, before I actually moved, I was here. So we're back in this setup. My sister had a trip to do to Miami to help my parents out with something. So she's over there for 2 weeks. So for 2 weeks, I'm going to be taking care of Remy and Sylvester. Sylvester's a new member of the family. You guys haven't met Sylvester. He's over there drinking water, what he loves to do. But he's a black cat. I'm going to put a picture here. He is a black and white cat. They're called tuxedo cats. And he's 4 months. Super cute. Super adorable. So I like go back and forth between... I go back and forth between here and my apartment since we live like right next to each other. To take care of mine and these fools. Luckily Eric is here, so Blue doesn't feel lonely, at least for these next few days that Eric is here. He's not gonna feel like super lonely when I do come here. But Blue is used to that stuff, because when we were in Miami, it's not that we left him alone all the time, but he was definitely alone more than he is now. So I feel like he's kind of like used to doing his own thing, being by himself. But even then, I'm not gonna leave him alone, obviously. And then I bring Cleo because Cleo gets along with these fools, and Blue is an issue with other dogs. So there comes Sylvester. Come. Sylvester. There he is. This is Sylvester. Hi. Say hi. Say hi. Okay. He does his own thing too. Okay, I put you on my computer, so you're gonna have to deal with this awkward angle for a little bit. And by a little bit, I mean like 2 seconds while I try this. But the real reason I started vlogging at this moment is because I hadn't tried the orange poppy, and my sister has it. So I'm gonna try it. I did try the cherry limeade and the strawberry, whatever it's called, lemonade, strawberry, something else. And I really like those. So let's try this. It's the orange one, like I mentioned. Love that sound. Cheers. First off, it tastes like it smells like a sunkus. I love that. Boy, I'm saying. Now he wants to make an appearance. Mix this. It doesn't say anything about shaking it before you drink it, does it? Well, this one you can taste the apple cider vinegar a whole lot more than you can in the other ones. Yeah, I can taste the apple cider vinegar, but it's not bad. I like it. It's not like the best. Like, I think if I had to choose which one I like best, it was the cherry limeade, which everyone says is really good, and it really is. Like, if you have to get one, get that one. It's really good. And the Olipop, I mentioned this in my last vlog. I tried that one flavor, like strawberry icicle or something like that, and I was not the biggest fan. I drank it, but it was not like life-changing. Maybe I need to maybe I need to try another flavor because that one was not cutting it. Hey guys! So it's been a minute since the last time I vlogged. I don't even remember what was the last thing I'd mentioned, but I think it was meeting Sylvester and like being at my sister's house and like the whole arrangement we have going on now. I'm currently cooking, or starting the process of cooking. I'm making chicken gizzard and corazones, chicken hearts. That's one of my favorite things to make. Always growing up, that was like one of my favorite things that my mom made. So obviously when I lived by myself, I started making it for me. And I don't think Eric has tried it before, but he doesn't like chewy texture, so I knew that I would have to make this food when he was gone, and he just left today, actually this morning. So I was like, well, might as well take the opportunity to make my chicken gizzards, because when he's here, obviously I have to cook for all of us, so it's different. But yeah, I don't remember the last thing I vlogged. I haven't done much except what I did mention about taking care of the dogs. I have done some Instacart trips, which it was actually my first Instacart. Sorry, I got distracted. There's something about chopping garlic and onion that I love. I could do this all day. What I was saying was I did my first Instacart yesterday, so I'm super excited because obviously my first Instacart. Hello, I'm growing up. I had never done one before. I had done one with my sister before, but that one I did by myself, like literally on my own. So it was different. And it was fun. It was fun. It was nice. I made like $10 off of it, period, poo. So, you know, I'm just trying to make some extra money. Who's gonna say no to money? Because I'm not. Ooh, my eye's starting to burn. Does that happen to anyone else? I know it, like the last time I remember reading about it. Reading about your eyes burning when you're cutting an onion. It said that it's because you form an emotional bond to the onion. I don't know how real that is because I don't think I'm forming no emotional nothing to no onion. But I don't know. I don't know. Yeah. What was I saying about Instacart? That's all I've really done. Instacart yesterday, and then I've been taking care of these dogs, and then my sister's dog and cat. And that's really it. I haven't even had a chance to film, which I'm hoping I do because I really want to film that mop wife makeup that's like popular right now. I think it's really cute. I don't know why we keep like doing a certain aesthetics, but I guess I'm here for it. I'm just like, just do your own thing. Why does everyone have to be the one aesthetic? Like, has anyone else noticed that? That there's one aesthetic and then that suddenly becomes everyone's personality. Like, they just don't move away from that. Is that just me? Like, I don't like that. I've always been like my own, like, very original person. Like, yeah, I like to follow the trends and all that. But I'm also not the type that's like, oh my God, when clean girl aesthetic was going on, that wasn't like the makeup I had to do every day just because it was popular or trendy. Like, I just did my own thing. But obviously I like clean girl makeup because I'm someone that enjoys not having makeup on just as much as I enjoy having makeup on. So I liked that aesthetic. I just didn't make it my whole personality. I hope that makes sense. And I'm not coming for anyone. I'm not judging anyone either. Like, you do you. But dang, like, you know. Anyways, I went on that whole rant just saying that like my next makeup is actually going to be Mob Wife, which is probably going to be up before this vlog, so I'll link it somewhere here, my Mob Wife makeup, because I'm sure it'll be up already. I have to edit my shooting vlog that I did. I had one shooting with my sister and her boyfriend and Eric, and his friend, not Eric's friend, her boyfriend's friend. And I obviously vlogged. That was like the desert. Like, so here we have shooting ranges, but we also have like open desert that you can just go shoot like the sand and stuff. So we did that type of shooting instead of in a range and stuff, which was super fun because obviously you just have like free will. You get to do what you want. Obviously with safety, like there's no one there to actually enforce any safety, which is like kind of scary if you think about it, but it was really fun overall. So of course I vlogged that, which I'm sure will also be up already, so I'll link it here also. So I'm very excited about that, and I hope we go again soon. That was a very fun night. And then I got to build my first fire. I always like watching like wilderness videos, like when I was younger, I used to watch Coyote. He's from Brave Wilderness, the guy that gets bit by like random animals all the time. He got bit by like scary things that have like poison and venom and like big things. So I used to watch him all the time. And then I also just like thoroughly enjoyed watching Naked and Afraid and like all these other shows in the nature. So I was totally convinced that day that we were in the desert that I was going to be able to start a fire. Luckily, mind you, I had like no equipment. It wasn't like, yeah, girl, you could start it. You know, you have the equipment, you can do it. No, it wasn't one of those. All I had for myself was the dry shrub, I think. That's what I meant. The dry shrub that you find out in the desert, because obviously the freaking sun sears it and it's just out there dry. And then I built myself a little wall because it was windy. So I was like, okay, this is where my fire is going to be. But then after that, I didn't know how I was going to get started with my fire. Luckily, Armand, which is my sister's boyfriend's friend, had a lighter on him, or I think he brought a lighter because he knew I was trying to start a fire. And so I just used like hand sanitizer and and the lighter to turn it on. But had I not had that, we would have been out there cold because it was actually like really chilly, and obviously when the sun goes down, it gets even colder. So it was just like one of those nights, and no one thought to try to start a fire but me. And I was like, y'all make fun. They were making fun of me because I was trying to start a fire. I'm like, why are you making fun of me? I'm just doing my own thing. And guess what? They were all up on my fire trying to gather some heat. Yeah, they laugh, but then they're there trying to catch some heat. Get on my face. You know what I need? One of those things that like the little faucets that hover over the stove. Those are so economical. And I don't mean money economical. I'm sure there's a better word, but I can't think. Beneficial. Better. They have more advantages. Can't find a word right now, but they're just so great. You need water, you just turn that thing, put it over your thing, put it back. Not a little bit of oregano, I guess. See what that does. This is literally how I cook. I'm like, oh, let me try this flavor, let me try this seasoning, let me see what this one tastes. Only sometimes do I have an actual recipe I'm following, like especially when it's like my mom's cooking or something. I'm like, oh, okay, let me call her to see what she does, and then I have like sort of a recipe. I really just don't even remember what goes in here. I haven't made corazones in such a minute. Like when I was in New York, I used to make it all the time because I had access to them at an easier rate than I do now, so I would make them all the time. But put it a little more. But now, I'm struggling, man. Struggling. Let me put this, hold on. To finish what I was saying when I was trying to put these seasonings in the food, basically, I've been reading A Little Life, which if you haven't heard of it, it's like this really popular TikTok book or like book talk book. And it's supposed to be like super depressing and like sad, and it is. There have been some spots that I'm like, But I haven't gotten to like the really sad part, and I haven't had a chance to read, and I'm so sad because when I first started reading the book, I was doing so good, and because I've been busy and I just tired, I haven't had a chance to read. And like my goal this year is to read more, which is why I started at the end of last year to read a whole lot more. I had actually finished the book right before that. I'm pretty sure I mentioned it in another vlog, or maybe I mentioned it in another video or something. I was reading White Tears, Black Scars, or Brown Scars, something like that. It's about like racism in the world and against womanhood and women and all that. So it's like a really good book if you're into that type of read. But I decided that I wanted to go more into a fictional route. I wanted just, oh, she's drinking water. I just wanted to read like a story that I didn't feel like I was reading a history book on. Don't get me wrong, I love learning about those things, but like sometimes it's just too much. Like I just want to read a story or like something that gets my mind off the world and what I have going on, etc. So I picked up A Little Life because I kept seeing it on TikTok. And when I first started it, I got to like page 100, I think my first night reading it. And then after that, I just like couldn't put it down. And now I'm busy, so I have to put it down. But like I really want to keep reading. But yeah, so that's what I was gonna say before when I got all distracted putting my seasonings in the food and stuff. Okay, so after I fed the dogs, I had put my tamal to heat up. And I still have tamales from like that one video from like the Christmas vlog. And that's because when you make nacatamales, you make enough to last you for a while. Like you make a big batch because you're not gonna make one nacatamal every time you want one. So you put them to freeze and then you just defrost them, you boil them every time you wanna eat one. So I have that going, but then in the middle of me defrosting my nacatamal, I got a batch for Instacart, so I went to do that, and now I'm back. It's only been like an hour. It's 11:45. So while my nacatamal is back on the fire, I'm gonna clean this house up.
En aquello que quería, más tú me dejaste un día.